All right, welcome back. Under the Rug, another show, and I think this is going to be a very important one because we had some interesting events transpire in the Bahamas over the past 3-4 days or so. I thought it was a lot longer. I thought it was at least a week, but on One Entrepreneur they just informed me that the video was just posted, I think, about 3 or 4 days ago.
Yeah.
But it felt like, yeah, that's what I said, because it felt like forever, because my timeline for the past few days has literally been flooded with the whole hashtag Florida Challenge, Florida content. And for those that don't know what we're speaking about, it's the video of the young lady who was walking around in a parking lot. I assume it was in Florida. I think
in Florida.
I have some hint that it was in Florida.
I think it's Tallahassee.
I think it was in Florida. And what she was doing was just basically, showing her surroundings. And, she was
chirping.
the birds were chirping. It was a nice ambiance. And she was just basically enjoying her vacation and saying, she
was wild.
She was in Florida. And so how rude of me. Let me introduce my co-host for the show before we carry on. And we have the lovely, she's been on before, no stranger to the show, Charlene. Should I call her last name?
You can call her last name.
Okay. Johnson?
No, that's not her last name.
No?
No.
You only... Oh, sorry, Hansen. Okay, so you kept your maiden name. But we have the couple on today, Shar and Jay. They are married. Jay is on the show on a regular basis. And today we have his wife. Hopefully they leave here married, because I think they divided on this topic that we're going to get into today.
On certain things.
As usual, we have the lovely Christina Marlene Thompson, a.k.a. Chrissy Love, who's broadcasting live from somewhere on the planet. I don't know where she is.
I tell you where she is.
She in foreign.
She ain't in the Bahamas.
She in foreign.
Listen, Chrissy,
I in D.C., I in Washington.
I don't want the people come looking for me to ask me where you is. So I don't know where you is, all right? You somewhere on the planet.
Give them the GoFundMe link. Oh, cold. Greg, you freeze. Come true, Wi-Fi. Greg freeze on the laugh. Lord, I mean, I got to join again.
Hello? Yeah, I hope we back. So check it. Make sure we back up 1 second. People, if you could hear us, just please comment. Let us know that you can hear us, please. Ding, 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 ding. Comment. Look at that. Put Chrissy up before us. All right. Hold on. What are going here? There we go. Chrissy!
I hear you now.
Okay, awesome. We back. All right. So what I was saying again, I don't forget.
You introducing Chrissy.
Yes. Introducing. Yes, I tell you, I want the people to come lock me up. So yes. We're going to discuss this video. Chrissy, I assume that you have seen it, knowing that you reside in the Trapsy zone. So I'm sure in one of those junglist WhatsApp groups or Facebook groups, somebody sent you the video. So I know you watch it. I don't know if Shah is that familiar with the video. Shah, are you? Have you seen it?
I did see it.
Uh-huh.
But I mostly rolled my eyes and said, oh my God.
Why? Interesting. Why did you roll your eyes and say, oh my God, Shah?
I'm sick of people getting famous off of nothing. On viral videos, and I would like to not waste so much time.
Oh, interesting. Jay?
My whole thing is viral movements are here to stay. It's not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate that a lot of the viral movements now are doused in dumbness.
Okay.
And non-talent. But it is what it is.
Like stupidness.
The dumb ones, the non-talented ones are going to get attention, but you see sometimes where the ones with talent that show consistency, they also are rewarded with viral movements like the Me Too movement, like Black Lives Matter, and so many other positive things that I cannot remember right now because all I can remember is Bad Baby, Kim Kardashian, and
Time's up.
dumbness. Yeah.
Why you don't keep her clothes on?
That's what she's comfortable with in her marketing thing. So kudos to her. She feels like she could take it off at the age that she's at as a mother of 3. And I mean, I can't judge her.
Really?
Christina,
Greg, look, I calling everybody name.
your thoughts when you saw the video?
The thing is, when I saw the video, I just looked at it as someone who just wasn't used. Yes, some of her behavior was embarrassing. Now, you know me. As a strong black nationalist, I had a major problem with the look at me, I white.
Yes.
That just messed me right up. That we still having this conversation.
And you know, it's funny, Chrissy. That wasn't that. I never saw that a topic of discussion, and that's what hit me the hardest in that video. Yes, I didn't see it. I just saw the whole Florida or her people getting on her about her not knowing that Miami is in Florida, calling her dumb, stupid, ignorant, all of that stuff.
She is dumb.
Well, we can talk about I don't want to call her dumb because again, I don't know her background. I don't know where she came from. I don't know what circumstances she grew up in. You know, people, if you know the background some of these people come from, I think we would be less judgmental because a lot of us were privileged. If we would admit it, we were privileged coming up. We went to school. We were forced to go to school. We had decent privilege. We had
school is free in the Bahamas.
Hold on, you went to school?
I went to school.
You had a mother that cared for you?
Yes, I did.
Took care of you?
And the private school
fed you?
that?
Put a roof over your head?
Yes.
Trust me, if you know the things that some of these people are dealing with,
you
are privileged.
My
but
mother made a sacrifice. That wasn't a privilege.
But I would say she was not informed. It was just ignorance. She had no idea, and that's our fault as a nation. That's what really struck me is that we have adults, and you better believe there's many out there like her. She's not the only one. There's a lot of people that have no idea. And so I think that's a failure on us as a country and our education system. This is why I say, this is why the topic is the Bahamas is in trouble, because this is the level of adults we are churning out in high numbers from our system. And so clearly something is wrong with our education system. So I want to touch on that. But like you said, Chrissy, the thing that hit me the most was the whole look at me, I white hey, and her celebrating the fact that she seemed lighter, and clearly it looks like she's bleaching. Her face was a different color from her neck, so it looks like she is bleaching. So yeah, sorry, Chrissy, to cut you off, but go ahead.
No, I mean I've done many shows on colorism in the past, and the fact that no matter how we may evolve as a people and as a race, white is still right. And the fact that she was celebrating her whiteness, you forget all them bleaching shop we have in the Bahamas, say.
Yeah, I see the car riding around all the time. The one without the skin whitening. Really? Yeah. You ever had the little car? You never see the car riding around?
No.
You got a fleet?
Get out the studio, boo.
She got a fleet of cars.
Get out the music studio.
Yeah.
She got a fleet.
But the colorism issue hit me. Of course, I did laugh with the rolling around with the trolley and we in Florida. But it struck me as someone just who, like we say in the Bahamas, she ain't use.
Right.
She ain't use, and that's the sad part that for many of us Bahamians, we are severely underexposed, despite the fact that we are a people who travels a lot.
Right.
And the fact that you said she isn't dumb, I agree. The circumstances do have some kind of bearing on it, but simple geography, you ought to know. We ain't ask you like, what's the capital of Kentucky?
But that's the thing. A lot of people don't know what is it. A lot of people don't know the capital of Kentucky. A lot of people don't know the states beyond Florida, but they, bragging because they know Miami and Florida, but they don't know the other states. So are they dumb for not knowing what is the capital of Kentucky?
First of all, I knew she was dumb, and this is something we Bahamians say too.
Yeah.
Only break people. I so tired of Bahamians saying I break. It is I broke.
She is educated by culture, Chrissy.
Because many Bahamians say I break. I break.
Right.
I break.
I break.
No, but she's just she's an amalgam of all things that we don't like to admit that's wrong with us.
Yeah, I like how you put that.
And her eyebrows was off. I mean, Lord, look here. Since she have a big contract now, she wants to tell her to tattoo on her eyebrows.
Hold on, she get big contract.
Hold on. But check this out. She was just at Morning 4. She looked like her makeup was on fleek.
Oh,
with her braid. So
take that.
I can't talk, but I don't know she looked like that melanin is on popping.
Take that.
Thank you.
That video was sad.
Yes, in many ways. In many ways. And like I said, here's the ways it touched me when I saw it. When she said, break people, let's go Miami. I in Florida. I was like,
sorry. I'm sorry.
I
Like-
tried to get a ticket.
Like my eyes opened a bit. I was like, wow, okay. Well, she didn't do well in geography, clearly. And as it went on, like I said, the thing that hit me the most was not only the fact that she was bragging about her lighter skin, but also that she was trying to put other people down by saying, well, look, only break people, let's go Miami. Broke people, let's go Miami. So clearly there's some there's some self-esteem issues there as well. And that's what people who have low self-esteem tend to do. The quickest way to get a quick high is to down somebody else. And
But
so
how you
she,
get happy in the parking lot?
hey, listen, she on different soil, Chrissy.
Maybe she called.
You saw
But
it.
in
Okay,
the parking lot.
you saw the trolley video?
Yes, I saw that. You pointing out the red car in Florida. You have red car in the Bahamas?
What type of car was that? Was that a Ferrari? Was that a Porsche?
That was for Toyota.
But I'm interested to know. Now, I understand y'all may have differing opinions on this, right? So I want to get to y'all differing opinions and see if we could find
You trying to cause fight?
No. I ain't trying to cause fight. I want to have dialogue because we all are different individuals, and so we have different perspectives on different things. And I'm interested. I always want to learn, and I always want to know other people's perspective on things. You know, that's how you get wiser. You understand? So I want to know, what was the difference between you two when it comes to that issue?
My whole thing is she looked at it instantly as, I think, cyberbullying and stuff like that. And like I said on Entrepreneur, I wasn't quick to put that label on it because there are a lot of kids, a lot of adults that suffer from actual cyberbullying. I think there's a difference between trolling, viral content, and cyberbullying. I think cyberbullying is consistent. I think it's deliberate, and I think it goes way beyond 3 to 4 days. Okay, if she sits it out, it's gonna go away unless she continues to strive for that attention by making more videos, and putting herself out there. So once if you put yourself out there, she recorded herself. No one recorded her. No one tried to exploit her and take advantage. But this was something that she put in the public domain, and she reaped the consequences and the reward from it. So I don't want to put the cyberbullying on it. My problem with Shar was when she was trying to, I feel, grandstand. Because she's an educator.
AKA be a self-righteous white hero.
What?
Yeah. I said that. I did say that.
What?
I did say that.
Okay, why did you feel that way?
In his defense, he was trying to prevent me from appearing as the self-righteous white hero,
look at it.
and
if you take away,
and having people come at me for being
and then that's
that way
story.
because I had posted
let's
that.
have a post.
It was basically just I had looked at a few of the comments, and then I saw the picture where her face is all snotted up because she's been bawling over the comments.
And I didn't even see that.
And it tugged at my heartstrings, and it made me think, who am I to be laughing at this when every day I tell students and people around me, let's be kinder to one another. Let's actually be the change we want to see. Let's, do unto others. Right. And I was like, okay, well, I thought it was funny when I thought it was a voice note. I heard it as a voice note.
Oh, really?
And I was like, okay, that's kind of funny. Right. But then I saw the video and I was like, this is what it is. And then when I saw all the comments and her getting roasted and then her looking devastated, and I was thinking, like this could be ruining. And I get fed up with how much time people dedicate to stuff like this when really we have real issues to deal with. And people talk about everyone being dumb. Well, you know what? How many parents are out there reading to their kids every night? How many people are volunteering? How many people could go play basketball with the neighborhood kids and keep them from doing destructive things? Like everybody could be doing something. And a lot of people aren't, but they have hours to spend roasting somebody online and making memes with I don't eat bologna, I eat sausages. And,
Hold on, you gotta say it again, Shar. Hold on. You gotta say that properly now. I don't. You gotta.
Sausages.
All right. You gotta be true to the Bahamian roots now. You gotta say sausages.
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 So
I was just protecting her.
Okay.
Because she has her circle that she came in. She's a part of the Xbox community. She's a part of the educational community, but also through the music that we do, and we have an urban content. So she's a part of that community as well. And if they're enjoying this, especially the people that are in her timeline, they're enjoying that. And she puts herself out there like that. I don't want her to be the next quote unquote Nelly Day for quote unquote what I saw was grandstanding. So I said, listen, if you want to affect your change, you already do so much. So continue to do that. You don't have to pick this battle in social media. Go with your actions. And that's where we had a brief difference of opinion, but I didn't tell her
you're doing plenty editing, boy. You're doing plenty editing. Go ahead.
No, but that's what I told her. And I didn't tell her that she had to take it down. She took my advice. And then she looked at it and she said, okay, let me take it down.
I wish I saw the post. You can tell me exactly what it said?
I have it. I mean, I have.
Yeah, show me in the meantime. What you want me to read, Deidre? That one from Jacqueline.
Sure.
That's right. Shar, get him. Jay, that's your mom?
Yes,
your mom watching? You better be in, boy. I know she is still breaking the bell for you.
Yeah. Where is this?
But yes, that was the most touching thing was the low self-esteem issue in the video. I wasn't really too much tripping off of Miami and Florida because that's geography. Somebody could hit me with some countries in Europe and I don't know what cities are there. So am I dumb? You know what I mean? So it's just we only know about Florida because that's the closest major city in the U.S. that have a Walmart. And so a lot of Bahamians go there. And if that wasn't the case, plenty of y'all wouldn't have known Miami was in Florida either.
Walmart.
I disagree.
Okay, go ahead.
In the words of Eddie Murphy, I disagree.
Okay.
First of all, as a Bahamian, one of the first cities you know is Miami. One of the first states you know is Florida. I don't care if you live under a rock, under a clapboard house. There's certain general knowledge questions that you know as a Bahamian.
No, but Chrissy, general knowledge isn't for the general population. What you consider to be general may not be general in the hood. You understand? So we can't put what we expect on our expectations on others because we come from different backgrounds and different situations. So while that may be general to you, to somebody else, it's not. So that's why I feel like that's unfair.
I don't know. There's certain things, fire's hot, water's wet, Miami is in Florida.
I totally get that not everybody knows every city and every state, but did this woman not book her own ticket?
Well, apparently not.
Because or go through the airport.
What you say, Chrissy? She white, so she didn't book it?
She might have some white privilege. We don't know.
I mean, assuming she's literate, then she would have read the sign.
Sorry.
So
school never
can't teach us
in the U.S.
Thank you.
That's generally not true because there are some private schools.
Well, I've been to private school briefly. I don't remember. Maybe they did. Well, listen, and that's another thing on education. But let me read this.
Education isn't.
Hold on. Let me read the comment first. And I don't know why you tell Shar this, right? And y'all people who watching, let me know if there's anything wrong with this. Shar had posted, less time roasting, more time doing something worthwhile. Each one teach one. Is something wrong with that, Chrissy?
Well, Shar, I love Shar. I love her kumbaya spirit. Shar, and I read Shar's post. But, the thing is, yes, people raggy her to powder. But you know how we go as Bahamians. When you say something stupid in a platform that gonna make you be known everywhere, I think what she's dealing with is the shame of her mistake.
Yep.
And so she's trying to backpedal now. Yes, I agree.
And what I try to avoid.
Go far.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on. I love Shar. I love the post. But when you do dumb things, you can get raggy.
Right. and the thing, Chrissy, what I was trying to protect her from pretty much was, and she'll know this.
Y'all come closer, man. Y'all little out of frame, man. Y'all can't see all the way.
It's like when
I spell body. Y'all can tell me.
When you go home to your dog, right?
I think so.
If he's a Rottweiler or a pit bull and you just feeding him for the first time in that day, you don't go and try and put your hand in that bowl. You know the risk, especially someone that dog sits. You know what could happen. You could get nipped. So putting yourself out there as a white person, people don't know you. You know what I mean?
Jay, I disagree. That post was so
if
vague
it's
in
on
general.
my own Facebook, it was not set to public. The people who I have, I don't accept every friend invite from every person out in the world.
Okay.
And
I mean,
so
do it again.
yeah, but I also have a tendency to be self-righteous. Hi, sister, if you're watching, you know this well. But yeah, so I took it down because I was like,
I don't see anything.
I
would have never thought of
Greg
the white
has set you up.
savior. No, honestly, she didn't come off as self-righteous. It didn't seem on the bed. Okay, Keitra is informing me to read this comment. Sandy says, Bahamians hate when you bring truth to light, but they will be chatting or texting petty crap all day long, so long as the talk ain't about them. Hashtag truth burns. I completely agree. I completely agree with that, Sandy. But I don't see anything wrong with her post personally. But back on the education aspect of it, right? That's it. She better make up her makeup on point. Not
Let me see her makeup.
Tell y'all.
Jay,
Tell y'all.
I need to pull it up
y'all,
on the
boy.
Jay, you can help me?
I can't help you.
Let me see.
Jay, I want to know how come she was white in Florida, but she was black with the phone company.
Hold it. You can see.
Well,
Oh yeah, she looks much better.
totally different person.
Who's
Who's the makeup artist?
what sorcery?
Say what's sauce? You got need to stop.
No. That's capitalizing.
Yeah,
but let's get back.
We're not on entrepreneur anymore. We're into education.
Let's get back to how the Bahamas in trouble, right? And it's back to, we all mentioned teaching in schools and say, oh, they teach you this, right? You know what? I just recently realized, I've been saying all this time that at least 85% of what they taught me in school, I don't remember or use in life, right? And just the other day, I realized I was wrong.
Okay.
It's actually about 95%.
Wow.
Because as you may know, Keetra's little brother is here with us, right? And, we were trying to help him with his homework the other day. And he come with some, some kind of division. This was like some long, advanced, super hype division, some kind of something they call it, right? They got different levels of division, power levels, like Dragon Ball Z for some reason.
They have
right?
different techniques now that they use.
So I looking at the division, right? And I was like, hold on. I didn't forget how to do this. This just division. You understand? Like with the little curve and the line, and you work it out like that. I was like, I didn't forget this. So are we teaching things that will actually be practical and applicable to life once people come out of school? What are we doing with our education system? Because clearly, if I don't know that kind of super hype division, and she don't know Miami and Florida, we doing something wrong.
Here's the thing. I think, okay. You as a learned individual, having some difficulty with a division problem today. I'm sure if you go on YouTube, you can brush up on those skills and be able to help him, right?
No, but my point was, to this point, now I to this day I'm 33. I graduated when I was 16.
Yeah.
Right?
Same here.
So I've been out of school almost 20 years. And to this date, I have never had to use whatever that was they teach me. Because I could do that in school. But I have never, ever in life had to apply that to
here's where I'm going to
use some of the stuff subconsciously and you just don't know.
But more to the point, the purpose of doing certain things in school is, yes, you can easily do that on a calculator, right? But sometimes you need to understand where that actually comes from. So it's understanding the basics. But more to the point, I mean, have I ever had to use Pythagorean theorem in real life or anything like that? No. But what it does is it teaches you how to think in a difficult, critical manner and think outside the box and really test your brain.
But here's the thing. I've had someone say that argument to me, right? And my thing is, okay, I get that. I get your premise. I get your goal. However, I don't agree with your method. That is not the best way to teach somebody to think critically. How about we apply, let's say, real life scenarios?
Which is why we should look to places like Norway that are actually doing that.
This is what I'm saying. So I get what the aim is, but clearly this process is flawed.
I agree.
We don't apply these things in real life. So why not use actual real life scenarios that people are going to encounter to get them to think critically?
Until the U.S. federal government changes their policy on education, the Bahamas won't.
Our policy is behind the U.S. even for education, which is scary to say because their education in the U.S. is not great either. But
by
I am 100% behind reform of the BJC, the BGCSE, GLAT. What you pointing at? We have Jeff Lloyd on the line or something?
No, say Lorena says, when you know, this is where it's so small. Okay. When you know that upon graduation, your only options are a hotel or a government job where you don't need to know much, why try?
Wow.
But Lorena,
no. And if that is a mentality, then that's sad. So what we need is a mind shift change from young. If that's what kids are thinking, then that is really, really sad because they can be anything.
Logic. You need logic to be a critical thinking.
I agree. And this is what I'm saying. No one is disagreeing with that. Nobody is disagreeing with that. However, the methods that are taught, I don't think it works. Because clearly it's not working. The amount of people that are slipping through the cracks is not working. What, you want me to read this one as well?
It's not meant to work.
Greg and my good people, reading is fundamental. I'm sorry, we don't like to read or think critically. Now, here's the thing. And here's why this is what I don't like, right? We need to shift our mindset and the way we think of things. People like to bash you. Oh, reading is fundamental. Reading. Listen to me. I tell people all the time, I don't like to read, soldier.
You need to know how to read. You don't have to like to
exactly. And that's the difference. I know how to read. However, I can't tell you the last book I read. Probably was in high school, and I just tell you I've been out of school for 20 years. Though? I said book. I don't even read instructions. Ask teacher when I get something. I throw that away and I figure it out. Just listen. And this is what I'm getting at. This is the point I'm getting at. When you read, what is the purpose of reading? What is the purpose
to understand what you need to do?
To intake content.
If you're doing
that, to receive information.
Right.
Is that the only way we receive information?
No.
So if the purpose is to receive information, because I receive information differently, does that make the information less valuable, less important? Doesn't mean that I'm not getting the information.
No.
Because I watch videos, I listen to podcasts. This is the way I receive information in a way that I am able to digest. You understand? I'm not going to sit there and read stuff. That's boring to me. But so people feel as though if you don't read, you dumb, or you ain't seeking information, or you ain't getting smarter. No, the purpose of reading is to get information. If there are other ways to get that same information, then does that make the information less valuable?
You know what? Here's I see where you're going, but I think that's a dangerous slope.
Why?
I feel that reading, literacy, and math are the most important things that you will need in life. And what?
Oracy.
Being able to speak well.
I think those three are the most important things that you can do. I think we need to focus on them to prepare you for whatever stream, whether you want to go more visual. You could be taught visually. You don't have to depend on the reading as much, but you still have to have a high competency in all three in order to survive in this world. In order to teach yourself. You can't just rely on one and say forget the others. I think that's a mistake, and I think that's what's been happening in our country because of social promotion.
True.
Okay? I think a lot of kids have been passed on, missing a lot of the basic stuff, and when they get further up, where they could say, "Oh, well, mommy, put on the YouTube and teach them math." They can't interpret the information to apply it. So I think reading, oracy, and math help with the foundation. Numeracy helps with the foundation of learning to help you expand later on by whatever vehicle you want to choose, whether it's traditional college, whether it's YouTube tutorials, whether you want to take a master class, or whatever the case it is. You have to have those basic fundamentals in order to interpret information.
We need more media literacy so that people can actually understand that when they get that WhatsApp video about how Chinese making cheese out of plastic, they're making rice out of plastic, this Chinese man getting water out of a puddle, so that means that all Chinese restaurants are using dirty water. Like, I know 50-year-olds who send me this crap and think it is the word. It is, and they teach their children this, and they'll show them this video. I know a little boy who would not eat rice because he saw the video of how apparently rice is plastic. cheese is plastic. So he stopped eating that stuff. So either his dad did not show him, like explain the video to him, or he also believed this. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, we live in an era where facts don't matter. You know what I mean? Facts don't matter. It's all about, you know, what you
Your
believe.
opinion.
Yes, your opinion, and everybody believes their opinion is right for some reason.
Yep.
So that's the issue we're dealing with. You're gonna say
Can I
something,
ask a
Chrissy?
question?
Go right ahead.
Does this grill look like someone with sense?
Oh Lord.
Why would you put 4 gold teeth on your mouth
That's fashion.
with that gold overlay on the incisor tooth? Why? Why would you do that?
That's
Chrissy,
fashion, Chrissy.
We don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
man.
she couldn't. Maybe they couldn't afford to go to the dentist. Dentists are very expensive. You know what I mean? And this is what she could have afforded. You know,
That's
maybe
fashion.
she have had some issues with her teeth. It may be fashion, even if it is.
It's
Either
a
way,
choice.
I don't care.
Yeah, it's
You
a
understand?
choice. And for me, appearance doesn't negate your intellect. I don't judge a
Right.
book by its cover. It was the worst.
Stop lying. You judge book by the cover now. No, we all do. Now, don't give me
We
that
all
garbage.
judge
now,
it.
Jay.
Well,
Yeah,
guess
don't give me
what?
that garbage
That's
now.
payments. I
Okay,
judge
here-
you.
Don't give me that crap now.
It's the
Yeah,
word. I
we
don't judge
judge
you
it.
by the way you look. I don't say, okay, this person look like this is a dumb person.
Uh-huh.
I've
Judge
learned to listen to a person. That made my
Okay,
judgment.
fair
Now,
enough.
you
But
have
we
very
all
good
make
points.
judgment
I
calls upon appearance now. Don't try that.
I might look at someone and say, this person look like a junta.
Or a criminal.
Uh,
If you walk in an alley in the night, you're trying to get somewhere, and you see some people who look little, you know, you gotta make your actions according to your experience.
I might just walk straight past them.
Okay, boss, fair enough. But you
Yeah.
don't tell me in your head.
Jay, stop lying.
Hey,
Y'all
Jay,
trying to make me out to be a hypocrite in 2018? Forget
Jay,
y'all.
hey, we ain't gotta do much work to do that, Jay. But let's get back. Let's get back up. Say again.
We
On all the
judge
good comes
it.
with education. Okay, yeah, for sure. But we have to do something about our system because I say all the time, we ain't preparing these students for life at all.
I say take them out the
And-
environment. in the end.
And a good example, I'm glad you're here, Shar. And I can show you why we don't want to change nothing for some reason. And this is why I don't believe nothing could change. Because people can hold on to things for no good reason. I remember we was to a pitch night one time and we was talking about education, right? Yeah, I think we were all there. Yeah. And we were talking about education. And I was putting the point forward. Things ain't gonna change because people hold on to old things even if we have no use for it, right? And the example I gave was writing in cursive. Why the hell are we teaching people how to write in cursive? When there's zero application in life
That's-
for
thank
writing
you.
in cursive. Every
Please print.
application, every form asks you to print clearly, right? So no one uses cursive. But then Shah, being an educator, sees some value in cursive writing, and she started to make a position for why, you know, it's good to teach cursive. And I was like, that's the point exactly. When you say, well, we don't need this, you will always have a group that say, no, yes, we do. And so we will never make the necessary changes because you will always have some people from the old guard holding on to these things because they have convinced themselves that these things are valuable in some way, shape, or form, even if there's not many examples of it.
My argument was that dyslexia studies show that writing in cursive can actually help some children because the fewer times they have to lift the pencil off the paper, the fewer mistakes they're likely to make.
So we should
So-
teach cursive writing to dyslexic students.
Which would make sense.
That's simple to me.
Which would mean actually properly diagnosing students
Right.
before we put them in the different streams or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But I think typing is one of the most important skills now, and so few people are taught typing. And you see, it drives me crazy to go into offices where you know somebody's been working there for 20 years and they're touching key by key. I find it painful.
Shah, you
I
ain't
find
my
it
feelings because
painful.
I type just like that.
Oh.
sometimes.
But shouldn't you know how to type? If your
I
job
just-
is to type, shouldn't you? And plus, Shar, I love you as an educator. I was an educator myself. But school is not meant to make you brilliant. School has its roots in school, which was to make you smart enough just to function and dumb enough to pay taxes and shut up and don't question authority.
True.
School is not meant to make you the brightest tool in the shed. You have to do all that stuff on your own or through your parents.
Through apprenticeship.
Writing is for the birds.
That's
That-
where
that-
that's what it was.
Say what?
That's not
For
what
the
I
birds?
want it to be. My version of what education is what it should be. I don't there's a reason I got out of the traditional classroom. It's because my beliefs do
Put that one
not
up for me.
align
Right.
with that. What's this comment
Pascal,
now?
let me see Pascal Burrows. Pascal Burrows says, teach students who could hardly speak, in quotes, proper English to write cursive. Now, Pascal, we do teach English in schools. We teach the English language. We teach grammar. We teach how to speak properly. So that's not the issue. That's being taught, but clearly is not having that much of an influence over
It's
people.
a lot more about leading by example. If you hear many principals speak, if you hear many of the teachers in higher positions or leadership roles speak, they're not using proper grammar in schools, let alone out of schools. So watch some interviews with some principals, and you wonder which government was in power when they got their job. Basically,
what am I to say? But
Shar sound like a man from the Royal Bank.
I'm just saying.
And that's another thing I wanted to get at too. That's another thing. Yeah. But he has some good points. What, another one?
But getting back to one more thing about this is one of the things about literacy is that I've been in schools before where other departments will say, "What's the English department doing? You know, y'all aren't teaching them good English." Blah 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 blah. Literacy is not only when they have language arts twice a week or 3 times a week. Literacy needs to be taught in science, in history, in math even, because the language is different in every subject. The skills that they need, report writing in history and science is different than writing an MLA format essay, or, well, actually here we don't even use MLA format, which is the standard for most universities in the world. So really it's... Let's read the comment before I get.
Shar,
let me breathe. Let me breathe.
That grades you on a curve that no one else does. Everywhere in the world, people is grade you A, B, C, D. The Bahamas won't go to G, and then we just wonder why we stupid.
Well,
I'm sorry.
You look at some U papers on the BGCSE and BJC.
You. What that is?
You was always
You need to go up?
Undefined, because at 9th grade, you cannot actually make letters out coherently. I have marked the BJC papers. Some of the stuff that I've seen, it makes me sad. So sad, because it's like one paper that will always stand out in my mind. You know how the BJC, they have picture options for the essay. So
they do?
So you have different writing prompts, but you can choose, look at this picture and write an essay or a story based on this.
He really wasn't paying attention.
There was a picture of a rat sitting on the counter with a chicken bone.
Dumbing down.
And one of the students wrote, the rat is eat the bone. He look afraid. That was the entire essay.
Wait, that was the entire
essay. It was literally one run-on sentence. The rat is eat the bone. He look afeard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Afeard. A-F-E-R-D. Yes.
That's true. Wow. Shar, you
and this is 9th grade. And this is that. Yeah. And
this is why I say the Bahamas is in trouble.
Greg, you know what's scary about that? That paper in its entirety was not a U paper. That was still in the G classification, because they had done other parts that were a little bit more.
So how you get a U? You just have to not show up.
You get a U by you only get a U by showing up, and there are some papers that it's just it looks like scribbles. It's like things that are trying to be letters. So you can't say that that's they didn't teach them properly or whatever. That is that child falling through the cracks for so many years. That to me, that's like a cry for help. I feel like when you get a paper like that, that should be a cry for help. That should be mega intervention needed.
Right.
Whatever is going on.
Oh, and I'm glad you said that. And this is another thing I wanted to get at on that same regard. The problem is, and you just said it, Chrissy, but we don't do that. And this is what we do. What we tend to do is we make fun of these people. We call them dumb. We call
promote them to the next grade.
Yeah, well, that too.
Yep.
That too. But we insult these people, and this is why, and this is a major problem. Keitra is pointing out. Lorena says you want to laugh, but this is not funny at all. And it is not funny, and that's the thing. It's not funny. But the thing is, and this is what I don't like. This is what I saw with the video with the young lady, is that people attack you for being ignorant, right? And then we wonder why we have so many ignorant people. It's because I scared to ask questions now because I don't know if you can laugh at me, call me dumb because I don't know something. Because I may be honestly seeking out information and you may laugh because you may feel this is general knowledge that people should know, and I don't know it.
Well, she didn't ask
so,
a question. She
no,
made
I'm
some
not.
Statements.
Yeah, but I'm not
Okay.
talking about. I'm
Never
not talking
let
about how
you cry.
specifically.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I mean
specifically.
but I'm saying people that may actually want to seek out information may be afraid to because they feel embarrassed because they don't know and they're going to be teased for not knowing.
So you stay dumb.
No, well, that's what. Again, I don't want that, but that's what's happening, Chrissy.
Well, that is crazy. So you
It's-
letting your pride stand in front of your progress.
Yes. What?
Okay.
Hello, we live in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Who's let pride stand in front of progress more than Bahamians?
Boy, that shame spiral serious, boy.
But that's what we do, and this is why we have ignorant people. And it get to the point to where you ever experience confident ignorance.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're talking
Yes.
about confident ignorance.
You know, we got willful ignorance, we got confident ignorance. We got people that confident and not they so sure that they know it, and you just have to be like, oh my god, this person really don't know.
I'll agree.
They're
Salami.
confident.
How about that?
Salami, well,
I believe it was.
No. Don't make fun of my boy. That's my cousin.
see, and look here, we have someone. Chelsea is saying, you're. I guess she's saying you're right, Greg. I guess I don't know. I'm gonna assume you're saying you're right, Greg. I was afraid when I was younger. Now I don't care.
Learn. That's all I can tell
But
you.
this is what happens.
Ask your questions and learn.
Yeah, but
That's
people
why
scared
you're
to ask
so
questions because you might call me
You can't-
dumb.
You can't. If you call me dumb, call me dumb. But guess what?
But not
You can
everybody
teach
like
me.
that. Not everybody like
You
that.
will teach me.
We have some fragile people. Read
Modern
about
day
it.
society needs
Sandy.
ignorant and junglist mentality individuals to thrive. Not modern day society, the social elite and the
The
political
social
elite.
elite make money off of I break.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again,
For sure.
school, they want you dumb enough to continue to not question and pay taxes and
Mm-hmm.
just smart enough to fill out your NIB form.
And you know who said that?
Who?
The great George Carlin.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, sir.
I love him.
I love George Carlin. That's my.
I love
He is
him.
my 1A of favorite comedians of all time. Him and Dave
Oh,
Chappelle
yeah.
is 1A and 1B. They between the two of them, they're my two favorites.
It is sad where we're at as a country. It's not too late to turn the ship around. However, we don't have the leadership, that have the balls to turn it around. We don't have the people with enough will to force them to demand more.
There are people working to change it, though.
No.
Org
Who?
is doing
Yeah,
great
yeah,
things.
Not
I mean-
organized. Those organizations.
No, I mean, there are
Influence to affect their
organizations
communities
who-
and what's that, and
yes.
that's great. But it's not the number isn't enough. There
It's
is
not
a lot
enough.
of people tell me this all the time. There's more of them than there is of us.
But-
And that's the problem.
That is true.
Because we're cutting down on the amount of children that we're having, so we're not affecting the numbers by doing that. We're being selfish.
And they having a lot of children
Yeah.
out of
They
miseducation
have
too.
4 or 5 kids that
Yeah.
go
So-
to EP Roberts and
we can't be dealing with the education issue until we also deal with more access to better healthcare and birth control and stuff too.
Mhm.
For that
Yeah,
matter.
Birth control? Forget you in the Bahamas say. The Bahamas where we pretend.
Is that so? I'm
Everybody
sure
pregnant.
it's not that easy.
Say that. Hold on. That's a quotable. Chris, you got to say that again.
I can't
You
tell
got to tweet that.
Shar, so optimistic. We live in a country, Shah. And again, I was around in the 70s when the family planning discussion was starting. Okay? We don't like to talk about it, but we a country who so like to fuck.
Yeah.
I like to call it the most juicinest nation in the world. We like to
thanks.
pretend like we as Christians who don't have sex, but we is the most juicinest nation in the world. Everybody juicing
And
everybody
the
else.
population is still under 500,000. So we're doing a good job.
But we don't do. We don't do census
But
anymore.
if we had better education campaigns, then HIV is real. Young men stop having sex with old men
Old men.
stop having sex with young girls. And how about let's have real conversations about things instead of just slapping bananas on walls and talking about let it ripe.
Shar,
I mean,
the age
I
of
mean,
consent is 16.
yes. Yes, I mean,
and don't forget now the distinction. And for gay men is 18. Why you think that is, Chrissy?
Well, for gay anybody.
For gay
Oh,
people
what?
it's 18.
Really?
Y'all didn't know that?
no,
Y'all didn't know that?
no.
Chrissy
Where you
didn't know that.
Oh, that's when they changed the buggery law,
No,
right?
that always been like that.
Inform them, Chrissy.
Yeah, as the elder member of the group. Yes,
Thank you, Chrissy.
the age of consent, if you're gay, is 18. If you're straight, it's 16. And the thing is, the buggery laws in 1991, and you know, I hate when Bahamas call it the sissy law, because let me be disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
How many men does juice their wife in their ass?
Oh, now hold on now, Chrissy. That's a different topic. Me and you is round, but this all the time.
No, you talking
You know-
about buggery. Buggery is not just about gayness.
But we can talk about that next one on a different show. That's
No, I
Yes.
was just letting Jay know the whole
Yeah.
reason for the
No.
18-year-old, because we look only at the buggery issue. That's why the gay issue about being 18 years old is different from if you're a straight person, it's 16. Because it has to do with that that homophobic overtone.
Okay.
But let's get to the aspect that hit us the most, Chrissy. The bleaching aspect, right?
Shall I want to be white too? I in
Like-
America now, I gotta be white.
But not me.
Privilege.
Don't lose
Privilege.
my power.
Well, you're almost there. But
Shall I working on it? You see my neck? I white.
Oh,
But that's the part of the video that hit me the most, and this is what we deal with in this country a lot, and I see so often. So it's like bleaching is becoming the thing now, and it's amazing how when I was in high school, right? So many things were like you would get shamed for. It was taboo to mention, like wigs. Wigs. We used to call them wigs back in the day. It wasn't even weave. It was wigs, right?
Yeah, I remember wigs.
Girls
Wigs.
would try to hide and blend. Like if you wearing a wig,
That you
you
shame of
getting
that.
teased.
Yeah.
Now it's
Yeah,
the
picky.
complete opposite.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when it comes to that other issue, bleaching, listen, you were shame. Now I think it still get a little bit of, it still has a little bit of shame.
You know when it
attached,
picked up?
but now it's like bowl out in the open.
It picked
Everybody
up
bleaching.
in
Like I said, the
late
cars.
90s.
I see them driving around town all the time,
Men
advertising.
bleaching.
That's
Advertising in
a
the
big shame
paper.
right there.
So let's talk about the self-esteem issues that we have, because clearly there was some self-esteem issues in that video when it comes to not only the bleaching, but her bragging and wanting to feel like she have a one-up because she was in Florida and break people is go Miami.
Well,
That's
part of
right.
part of the self-esteem issue comes from feeling dumb. If you fail school and you're not looked at as an
It's
intelligent
reinforced at
person,
home.
and it's reinforced, exactly. If that's reinforced, you have to find something to find pride in, right? And if in your circle that's the thing that people do, and you could do that, then that's what's going to
You can
happen.
mix them cream. We gonna mix
The
them.
batch. Gotta get your batch.
Yeah.
Your
But
cake
that's
soap.
Go ahead.
Not saying-
Epidemic,
What do you
agreed.
say? Cake soap.
Yeah, the cake soap. Well, you know, bleaching, we are no different from, the thing is, we have a colonial past. And unfortunately, one of the disservices of colonialism always told us that white is right. And so we've always had this affinity to be white. And it's just what we were taught. And so we all know that even the black community, Bahamians is cuss each other black. So the fact that people want to be white isn't surprising to me, considering our history.
Yeah.
And so the fact that she felt that made her better, we know people that say that. How many Bahamian women have had their parents tell them, lighten your darkness, don't bring home no black girl like you, or black man like you. This is a part of our conversation. It's been a part of our conversation. This ain't nothing new. So the fact that she felt superior because she was getting whiter,
I'm laughing at Sherry.
but your knuckles black though.
Yes. Huh? Which was
Sherry
right?
said one yardy asked me what kind of cream I used. I said carnation. I thought she meant CREAM, not cream.
Oh yeah, that's what Jamaican is called. It's
that's
called
great.
that when you cream your body.
That's great.
Oh, that's what they call it. That's a.
Yeah, Jamaicans
Yeah.
call it that when you cream your body.
The creamy crack
Oh wow, I didn't know.
is a different thing, though, I guess.
Man, I
No,
tell you,
creamy
there was a
crack
time-
is perm.
there was a
Yeah.
time, Chrissy, I go on to
That's-
order some Chinese.
so I'm
food,
saying
right?
it's
But
a
not all
different
pick up the Chinese
terminology.
food. You know, for some reason she like to eat Chinese. But I go on to pick it up, right? And the gal who serving, right?
Uh-huh.
I look at her face. Right? I'm like, okay, cool. She tell me how much it is, right? And when I go on to put the money to pay, because it's them, you know, the glass would have the little slot, you got to slide the money under. I go on to slide the money under, right? And when I see the hand would take it, I say, hold on, you want to switch it? This can't be the same person who I was looking at just now.
Greg, you so trapped,
No, but for real, I was like
It'll spook you. It will spook
that
you.
sat with me for days because her hand was darker than mine, but her
Yep.
face was brighter than Keitron. And if y'all know Keitron, she high yellow. You
Keep your
understand?
dead yellow.
Yellowtail,
You
yellowtail.
understand? So I was like, what's it? I hope she didn't see my, because it's hard for me to hide my reactions on my face. So I hope she didn't see it. But boy, I was like, wow. So we have some real self-esteem issues that we deal with in this country. And some people feel like they have to go to the extent of damaging, because that's what you're doing, damaging their skin to appear lighter just so that they would be more accepted in society. And that's what, this young lady, I guess, thought as well, because she was bragging about being white.
She white.
Yeah, and I saw,
now.
and I don't know if you all saw the videos that followed the
parodies.
Yeah, the parodies.
Yep. Powder on the face, powder on the legs.
That was my favorite one.
Yeah.
I ain't lying. Some of them was funny. I didn't think the actual Florida video was funny, but a couple of the parodies were funny to me, especially the one with the powder on the face. That caught me off guard because at first he was just saying
wasn't
Florida.
ready.
I wasn't ready for
Yeah,
that.
he wasn't ready.
He was saying Florida. When he put it on his face, blowing powder on his face.
I saw the parody
show
before
me
I
some
saw
of
the
these.
actual.
Bahamians ain't easy, boy. Bahamians ain't easy.
Boy, they just jump on the
Oh, I hear a door.
Bahamians will jump on an opportunity right away. But it goes to show that we could be creative when we actually put our minds to it.
Yep,
could be
Sean
creative.
say Pinedo. I love that.
I think we are very creative people.
Yeah.
I think I would love to see some of these creative vloggers and bloggers actually have an opportunity with audience to see what they could do.
Mm-hmm.
Programming. Put the content up there.
Yeah.
We tend to be very one-sided, one-dimensional.
I told Cable that a long time, but they didn't listen to me.
It's funny. I was thinking about the Shani Miller situation and how she got roasted hard.
For Mara and the White Man?
Oh, I meant just for the initial dive, right? Like there was pride, but there was also the big joke. And then when everybody saw the parade float for Junkanoo, then there was outrage at that. So people just switch no matter what.
Shar.
Yes?
Now, Shar.
Going too far. I'm too far off track.
Parade statue model looked nothing like Shawnee. That
was
looked like
trash. That was trash.
I know that, but it's just funny how people will switch sides on no matter what. I don't know. I went too far off track.
One of the main components of our foundation was hypocrisy. That's one of the main things we laid down first was hypocrisy.
Oh yeah.
And this is why you see all these things happening. Right
we
now.
learn it from our masters.
But what upsets me?
We Christian, but we have slaves.
We had the Bible.
And we Christian slave owners beating you with the Bible in your hand.
But they believe in slavery in the Bible, so it makes sense. They only hold true to the book. I mean, why you all acting surprised? But anyhow, on the issue of the bullying, right?
Mm-hmm.
The backlash. My thing is, Bahamians, ain't no bigger internet gangsters than Bahamians. I think we would hold that trophy for decades because I don't see no more disrespectful people than Bahamians when it comes to online commenting and cyberbullying.
I think they do it in jest. I think they do it in jest. I think America is malicious. I think Americans could be malicious.
You don't think Bahamians malicious with some of these
No,
things?
I think they say it in jest. I think it's a get-off situation. It's trolling.
Oh, boy.
I think America's trolling is based in racism and actual discrimination and hate. So I think
that's true.
Well, I wouldn't say I wouldn't.
Totally depends on the issue.
In this instance, I think a lot of people were just getting off and having a good time at her expense. She unfortunately felt some type of way and got snotty. That didn't move me.
Yeah. But if we want to talk about trolling, you watch and you look at any comments on this new case with what's his name, Jean Charles.
Mm-hmm.
John Roney.
Yeah, John Roney. I mean those posts are malicious. There's some malicious stuff. So you cannot say, "Oh, Bahamians just getting off," and the U.S. is.
That's a good point.
No, the Haitian issue
it depends very much on the issue.
Yeah.
Tell us what the things with Bahamians will be malicious with, Chrissy. The 3 H's.
What are the 3 H's that Bahamians don't like?
Haitians, homosexuals,
and
heathens.
Exactly.
Yes.
Heathens.
And the funny thing is,
if you ain't rocking with Jesus, they gonna raggy you.
Yes,
really? It's true.
They heathens themselves. That's the thing. They doing all that. They just claiming to be Christian, but if you look at their actions,
exactly.
come on. let's be real.
Christian, and you got 10 cheering for 11 different men.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sit
Yes.
all the way down.
But like we say, payments is hypocrites. But on the cyberbullying, now Jay, where we differ, Jay don't feel like she was bullied. You think she was bullied, Chrissy?
She was not bullied. Please.
Okay, you all two agree on that. Shar, you think she was bullied?
I
And you deal with kids that doctor.
I love Shar.
I feel
honest, be honest.
I don't know.
I can't do you nothing.
I would say I would say that it's all bullying by definition, but it's a gradient, and I do also agree that she is the one who put it out there, and now she's owning it. So it's, I mean, instead of claiming that she's been, put through stress and emotional hardship and seeking counseling for this, she's capitalizing on a deal with Alive. So,
And
I mean,
what's
But
the deal?
does that make it not bullying?
I guess not, but
Okay, and this is
Yeah.
where, and this
She
is what
was
I
trolled.
this is
She
what-
will be forgotten
Exactly.
tomorrow.
See, that's the thing, and this is where we differ, right? Jay is judging it by the result, and like I say, the act took place because she was able to turn it into something that benefited her. Does not mean that the act still didn't take place.
No.
She was still bullied,
No.
and it's like
No.
it's
No.
Okay, what
Yeah,
what you saying no to?
Here's what I'll say.
What you saying no to?
I'm calling it trolling not because it turned
Right.
out okay for her. I'm calling it trolling because I'm looking at the situation holistically and saying, one, you put it out there, you put it in the public domain, and I looked at a lot of the comments, and I looked from where it came, and it wasn't like, oh, Shannon 335 commented 5 different times under the post, or
Right.
went and shared it so many different places and said, this stupid mother,
Okay, let me ask you a question.
okay,
Come here,
definitions.
Based on this, right? Let me ask you a question. Then we get a definition.
Yes.
Did you see every single form
I
that
didn't
video was in?
say everything form, but based on viral content and based on
No,
how
no,
it
no, no.
spun,
You saying
that was
based,
trolling and people getting off.
and that's based on what you saw,
Right.
interpretation of what you saw personally.
Yes.
Okay, that's a difference. Well, now you,
Okay.
Shah want to give the actual
So-
definition.
The definition of a bully is, or bullying, use superior strength to let me start over. Use superior strength or influence to intimidate someone, or typically to force them to do something.
Mhm.
So, not really by that definition, I guess. Right?
Okay, then.
Synonyms: persecute, oppress, tyrannize, torment, browbeat, intimidate,
Is it one with multiple
coerce.
definition?
But if we look at the definition of trolling on Urban Dictionary, of
Mhm.
course known to be the most accurate source of all information,
Listen,
Um,
don't you catch yourself a problem from here.
the art of deliberately, cleverly, and secretly pissing people off, usually via the internet, using dialogue.
All that was
Trolling does not mean just making rude remarks. Shouting swear words at someone doesn't count as trolling.
All right.
It's just flaming and isn't funny.
I'm glad you read
Spam
that.
isn't trolling
We didn't go
either.
further,
It
Shah.
pisses
We didn't
people
go
off, but
further.
it's lame.
Just based off of that, y'all are not correct.
Mm.
Because a lot of what I saw was just sheer obscene insults. Not clever, whatever you said it was. So it wasn't trolling Rashida. I see you saying she was trolled, not bullied. That was not trolling, because a lot of what I saw was some extremely obscene, harsh, vindictive, just malicious remarks.
Well, I bullied her.
toward her and insulted
Right.
her intelligence.
I bullied her because I call it dumb on air.
So that's why I'm saying
That's bullying, to call someone dumb for doing a dumb thing?
well, hey, listen,
That's
if
fact checking.
we can't tell the victim what they felt. And that's what I think y'all doing. I think Jay doing it. I think you and that. I think because y'all looking at it through your lens, y'all don't see it as that. And so y'all saying it ain't that, but y'all speaking for the person that was impacted.
If
And
I'm
and that's a
convicted,
dangerous thing. That's a dangerous thing that we do. We tend to speak for other people when we haven't been through the experience. And that's
Yeah,
what I
but
feel like y'all
Greg,
doing.
The facts, you can have your own opinion, you can have your own facts, okay?
Okay.
She put out the stupidity. By the way, can I give a shout out to Marv, the mixologist? He said, broke people is drink vodka. We is drink Stoli. Boss. Shout out, Marv.
See, that's trolling. You understand? To me, that's trolling. Yeah, like that would be an example of trolling. Not malicious is a clever
She was
way
a
to kind of play off of it. You understand?
What bullying is not. single episodes of social rejection or dislike.
That would each
Mhm.
certain single
So-
episode. If
so,
a mass
I mean-
of people, if a nation trolls you one time for a period of 3 days, have you been bullied for 3 days, or did you put something out in the atmosphere and you got the reaction that you know your nation would have given
But you know what? I think we are arguing the wrong thing.
Know your environment.
I think we are arguing the wrong thing because at the end of the day, who cares what it's called? It's the impact that it had.
Yes.
And clearly it had a negative impact because
On who?
I
Yeah,
get that, if you allow. You said you sort of I haven't seen because I
I
don't
saw the screenshot.
Again, we don't know if that was a screenshot actually from that time when she was upset about that.
It could have
I
been
mean,
something
it
else.
could
It
have
was
been
just a
from
screenshot.
something else.
But I heard,
Who
but you're
knows,
not the
right?
only ones that I heard that it really impacted her. And Dazi said on Entrepreneur earlier that she was really impacted in a negative way. She was contemplating quitting her job, like it really had a negative impact
Oh,
on her.
drama queen.
Oh, woe is me. I called Florida and I will quit my job.
You all see what's wrong with the Bahamas? You see what's wrong with the Bahamas? Look at y'all just
Woe is me.
disregarding y'all fellow Bahamians' feelings and the impact of that. If she had killed herself, what y'all would have said?
That's what
made
my
a
argument was too.
She made a choice.
You did.
She made a choice.
If she killed herself, what y'all would have said?
She
But
made a
guess what? In
choice.
the words of Andrew Caldwell, she has no self-esteem. Get you some.
No
Greg,
self-esteem.
please.
Yeah, but Chrissy, see y'all, and this is Jay.
She made a choice.
Jay like to play this role of this heartless, cold individual, right?
Who's heartless? I am a kind soul.
Please, you kind when you're ready, but when it comes to things like this, you're a savage.
What she did was stupid.
Yeah.
You see it that way. I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way. It's sad that she did not know. And my thing is, you are in Florida. So therefore, you should have took it upon yourself to at least given yourself some form of education on the place that you are actually going to. You understand?
Oh,
So that's
please.
I agree it was ignorance on display. However, I am not in this advanced age that I am treading
33.
on the side of not being so judgy, because you know what I realize what being judgmental is lead to?
What?
A dishonest society. A
Greg, you know
dishonest
what's
society, because people are afraid to be honest. You know why? Because they're afraid to be judged, because people too judgy.
True.
And so they can tell you a lie. They ain't gonna tell you something because they afraid to be judged. And so I was called judgmental at one time in my life years ago. I was told that I was a judgmental person. I didn't agree with it at the time. I may have been, I don't know. But at this point in my life, I'm doing my best to try and look at things from as many different perspectives as possible,
You're
so that I can try to put together a complete picture before I decide to pass judgment on a person or a situation. And I don't think we do that enough in this country, which is why we have so much clashing heads and arguments online, because
Okay.
people just want to route.
You know what it's like? That's like you always put the picture
I like
of your
Pascal.
house with the number on it, with all your boxes from Christmas, and then when you get robbed, you just want to cry. Shut your teeth.
And Pascal is saying, Greg, she is ignorant and she attempted to degrade people. Okay, let's address that. Pascal, I don't like when people call other people ignorant. You know why?
We are.
Thank you
Why?
very much. Because everybody ignorant.
We don't know everything.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
I don't
it
like when...
depends on the subject.
No, but I don't like when people call other people just straight up, you ignorant. So you're not? You ain't ignorant then. You know everything. You don't know everything, Pascal. You don't know everything. And so because you know, let's say you better at geography, does that mean that you're smarter than the person that doesn't know geography?
We know that Miami and Florida.
Yeah, but the question is, if you are better at geography than somebody else, does that make you smarter than them?
No. What she attempted to do and where the degrading actually happened was she was trying to say, all y'all people that go to Miami, well, y'all broke. Y'all
Right.
need to live. All right, y'all break or whatever the case. So she was trying to throw shade on people as freaking as they may go. And Miami might be their only destination, but they leave this country.
Right.
You understand? So to
Right.
throw shade on a group of people, I don't agree with.
And I don't agree
And
with
she
that
got what she was looking for. She put herself out there and she got the clap back.
Hey, and I
Yeah.
agree. I agree with you on that. I don't agree with that aspect. I don't think.
So
she
again, that wasn't bullying. That was a clap back.
Well,
Black Twitter does it all the time. Get with it.
Black. Well, I ain't a big fan of it. But anyhow, I don't agree with that as well. I don't think she should have been trying to degrade people, and that's why I said it spoke to clearly a self-esteem issue.
Yeah,
Because she has, but I'm curious. I'd love if any of y'all out there know the Florida, Miss Florida, y'all tell her, hit me up. I would love to actually have a conversation with her.
Please invite me to that.
To get her. No, I'm dead serious because we all agree that we have many people just like her in society, right?
Yeah.
So I want to learn the background and the atmosphere that they come from. So that, because clearly there's some issues. There's some issues there. So I want to learn about her background so that we could properly address the issues rather than to just cast them away and dismiss them.
You trying to make it
Use a ma. Use a ma, pie.
See, that's our problem though, Chrissy. This is why the Bahamas is so freaked up.
Chrissy, don't you have a saying that talks about the neighborhood and the clean thing?
But that's what she
your doorstep swept. The village will be clean. Obviously, she wasn't raised right. She
But
like
suppose-
6 gals on the front of the paper this morning, looking like
You what?
dudes, I might add. Who does never raise and train? Train
Yeah,
and
but this-
cheering.
All right, okay. So let me ask you, how do you want to address it, Chrissy?
Greg, she's already done the videos. She's been ridiculed.
She got
took
some
her
attention.
lemon and made lemonade.
Let her drink a
And
switch
so
up.
No,
let
but-
it go.
but
Enjoy
what I'm
your
saying
15
is-
seconds in
Listen
the
slowly.
spotlight and let it go.
Not vodka. But what I'm asking is, clearly there's an environment and a large one that is churning out these types of people. What's your
Sad.
plan to address that?
For me? Oh, Chrissy.
Let me ask Chrissy, then you can tell us your plan to address that.
Well,
Okay.
the thing is, we have always talked about addressing those who fall through the cracks in our nation. But I still maintain if we were serious about making our people more literate, more numerate, and better at oracy, then we would change the system of education. But again, we want to keep our people just smart enough to fill out a form and dumb enough to continue not questioning. So nobody don't want change, nothing. Yeah, you heard that double negative. Nobody don't want.
And I agree with
Cool.
Chrissy. I do agree with Chrissy.
Mhm.
And I'm optimistic that if someone does have the balls to change the education system, they can do it piece by piece. They don't have to break it all apart. I think the kids that are living in at-risk homes, I think we should have a boarding society to take them out of those environment and actually start to impact young men and women that are at risk. Take them out of their communities. Don't put
We
them
do
back.
that.
in jail. No, we don't do it on a large scale.
Emergency hostel.
No. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about an
Yeah.
actual boarding school on some of the remote islands to remove them from those societies from weeks and months at a time, where they could learn skills, they could develop careers, and then once they're 18, 19, they could go get grants to go off to college and culture themselves with the world, and then introduce them into society, as opposed to having them grow up in the same areas. I'm not going to call it areas where they're not supported at home. They're falling through the cracks and being passed off in schools and then turning out to be Florida.
I see.
Florida.
Valentino says, you know how many times I got teased when I was young? If I had $1 every time, I'd be able to have unlimited flights to Miami. Oh, I mean Florida. Well, Valentino, I'm curious to know, what were you teased about? What was it specifically that they teased you about?
We were all
But-
teased in school.
Yeah, oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
poverty. You
We have
didn't
a
have
culture.
lunch today. You were too black. You looked a certain way. You probably was. I mean, being smart for me was always cool, right? So trying to be in the
You were
top.
smart.
I was a smart child. I tutored people. Thank you.
Hey.
Cashing on
I'm
some of
trying
the
to get you no
privilege.
cheap points when you go home, yeah?
But seriously, I think everybody got teased at a certain point,
Mhm.
but it grows beyond that. Fortunately, I did have a good mother at home that reinforced and helped us to have a certain level of self-esteem, a certain level of self-worth, and that's what's missing. You know, a lot of these kids go home. Their parents either aren't there or
Right.
they're mentally checked out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So they're not getting those lessons. They're not getting that growth, that nutrients. So
And I'm glad you said that. And that's why I was pressing Chrissy so much on it, because like you said, okay, we have people that it's not their fault. The kids, if they have a deadbeat mother, deadbeat father, whoever, deadbeat parents, let's say the parents got shot, but their parents died in a plane crash. Something happened. Their parents ain't around. What are we supposed to do? This is why I didn't like when Chrissy said, where her ma supposed to do that. Okay, so clearly we have a lot of mothers not doing their job. So what are we as a
And fathers.
society and fathers?
No,
what
that's
are we-
shameful.
What are we as a society gonna do to compensate for those failed households. And as we should, if we just continue to discount, well, they pas supposed to worry about that. I ain't getting in that. Well, that same person might become a real window in the night.
Okay, well, here's what this self-righteous person is working on. Lend a Hand Bahamas. Go find them on Facebook now. Self-plug here. It's an organization that is putting together funding for a community center in Bain and Grantstown right now. And one of the plans is to have after-school programming, weekend programming there for kids free of charge so that they have something constructive to work toward. Right now, 4-H programs that were set up by Sheila Pritchard and Lignum Vitae are teaching kids about, how to fish, get hooked on fishing, not on drugs is their motto. They're teaching them gardening skills. They're teaching them entrepreneurship skills. There are lots of people doing things like that around the country. And those are the people who need to be going viral. Those are the things, if you took the time to share this video, you could take the time to share these positive things. It's one click. Why can't people do that? That's what I don't get.
The appetite. It's a beast. It's a beast.
The problem is we have an appetite for negativity.
Ratchetness.
We have an appetite. So we have
vulgarity.
Yes, we have to address the appetite. That's why people are quick to share these types of videos over what you just described.
Because Bahaman's bored.
Yeah, because look at it. If you really look at it as a something that's consuming food, right? Why fast food chain so successful and making so much money, and people are neglecting to eat healthy? It's the same problem. It's the same problem.
Yeah, we have to change the appetite, and it's going to take a whole mindset shift. And teasing people, and I see should I forget what his name was? I can't see the comment now, but he said he was teased in school.
Valentino.
Well, having a juggernaut head.
Having a big head. Well, I am not seeing big head club, so I know what you're talking about.
Head, big lips.
I know what you're talking about, but we all were teased. But that's a problem. That's a problem. We have a culture of teasing. You know what I mean? Harsh teasing at that. Because some of the things people used to tell you in school, listen, we some tough people to survive that.
Truth.
These people are.
Yeah, but the people who was teasing you had their own issues. Like when the girl called me coffee cooler lips and Xavier's, and I call her gap out head.
Well,
you could be teasing me when
I stop getting teased when I punch someone in the mouth.
What is calling? What do you say? What kind of lips? Coffee cooler?
Coffee cooler. I used to get teased about my thick lips. Coffee coolers. And I used to call her eat out head.
Oh,
and now she's hailed me, hey, Chrissy Love. I'd be like, yeah, yappy.
But that shows the damage. That lashing out shows the damage. You know what I mean? It's not suffering on the inside where you want to lash out and just insult people. We have to address that culture as well. And we see it on full display when we have incidents like this online. I mean, full blast. People go on the keyboard and just start bashing away with the harshest things they could find to say.
Greg, she was ignorant.
I agree. Listen, she had an ignorant moment. She made an ignorant statement. And like you said, with it down in the people that go to Miami, I don't agree with that.
You can learn today.
That's something that needs to be addressed as well.
You want to be shady? You can get the what? Clap back.
Take this.
But clearly we have lots of issues to deal with, which is why I put the Bahamas as in trouble. I think we're in trouble right now.
We've been in trouble.
We've been in trouble. But based off of our education level, our education system, the way we socialize with each other.
That's why it's still like that.
Because nobody wants change. Culture is so powerful, and I say all the time, I am learning more and more about the power of culture and tradition. People just automatically default and fall right into what's been happening, whether it makes sense or not, and they don't even question it. It's just
for example, being told not to take a stand in case that comes back at you.
Oh, well, that's the Bahamian,
right?
Hold on.
So nobody wants to be the one to take the heat. No, everybody says, "Oh, if you say that, everybody's going to be against you." Because, yeah. But I'm just saying, if you think about it like that,
you know what? Here's the thing.
I agree with you, Shar.
Here's the
thing.
If you choose not to heed my advice, the next time you feel that you need to take a stand, go right ahead. I shall fall back. I will not say anything.
No, you won't.
And such things before you. I will clap back
No, you're not.
until you see what you make me do.
No, you're not. You're gonna defend your wife.
In general, I'm usually the person to take a stand. I would rather take a stand and then take the backlash
Right.
than let something that I know is wrong
But you're
go
already
on.
affecting change. You don't need to.
But
get
why
into
can't I
social
do
dialogue.
more?
Why not?
When I saw somebody post a video who's on my timeline about this like gang of kids jumping some girl on the street because of her shoes and how she was yelling back and thinking that's hilarious, and I said I do not get the mentality of people who post this online in the first place, but I definitely can't understand why it gets shared and laughed at. Like, that's what's wrong with our society.
We idle.
That's a totally different situation, Shar.
But-
You want more of a personal rapport.
But
with
that
person.
was actually more personal than just putting a post out on my page.
Well, I'm gonna put the
Let's
both
be
clap
education.
up, huh?
No,
It'll be right there.
I'm
defending
just
his wife.
saying,
But listen,
if
I
we don't
ain't
take
gonna-
a
Why would I
stand,
have to-
if
why
we
do
don't
I have
take
to
a
exert
stand,
that energy when I know
Hold
my
on,
people.
Jay, hold on, Jay.
Right?
I see you post
Because that's your duty.
Because at the end of the day, I
And-
am Jay. Me. I am Jay.
But that is her. You saying that post was not her?
No, what I'm saying is not her. I could do certain things. I could get away with certain things. I could say certain things because
Use OJ.
Hold on. Come on, camera while you say that. Come sit close. Say that in the camera.
I have built a certain persona, right? People expect that from me. People look for me for that.
So you're telling people there's a character that you build and it's not the real Jay, it's just your character and they look forward to this, so you have to perform when the lights on?
No, anything that I put out, anything that I put my brand behind, I put my time behind, I put my energy behind, is true. I have different parts of me.
yes.
So what
So like how right
Shut
after
up.
I took that down, Jay post. I know we was caught up in the Florida gal, but did anyone vote for Chase Carter? Just asking because we can make things go viral.
Did we vote for
The-
Buddy here?
The swimsuit Rookie of the Year, Sports Illustrated,
Yeah, I
Bahamian
saw
model.
that post with Chase.
Oh, I didn't
All I
know.
remember
Yes.
Chase
But
was
that-
an embryo.
That
Perhaps
again
she should have said
was
Florida or
taken-
something.
I was saying that I know we got caught
Florida.
up in this viral movement.
Aha.
Let's create another viral movement and get this girl to.
And I was saying my viral movement
No.
would be education.
well,
Yes.
tag education.
My viral movement is the dump not burning.
Dump not burning,
Listen,
but true.
That's
Yes.
my viral movement.
Exactly. But I
Cool
agree
it
with
down. Simmer
Yes.
Dana.
Yes, I agree with Shadow. We need to be bold. We need to make our statements. And if you could make, I don't see as fair that you could go online and
I need
say
to let go of
how
my
you
super
feel.
ego.
Yes, and how you
Really?
feel, and she ain't allowed
Okay, that's
to
why you
say
good
how
at what
she
you do.
feels.
Okay.
Maybe,
Facebook is-
maybe.
I hope all y'all champions. If my wife was to ever turn into Nelly Day, I know
So
you.
how about
But your wife
maybe,
can't be
maybe
a
I
DJ.
should capitalize
No.
like Alive on this movement and offer this woman free tutoring and give her geography lessons, and then she could tell you all the states and the capitals.
Hold on. Before we give out scholarships, just contact us at Boost Educational Services. We're located on Soldier Road.
I was actually not going to connect that because I don't know if I want this to match up with that, but you know.
But anyhow, I think
Hold on, I gotta answer Narissa. Narissa asked me if
Go
I'm
ahead.
in Florida. No,
Uh-huh.
Narissa, I'm in Tallahassee. I ain't in Florida. Dumb ass.
you do Dropsy. You do
I'm
Dropsy.
Trapsy, I'm truthful.
Super ego.
Well,
Wow.
that's your
Way to go.
version of the truth. What you call truth, is
Super
usually
ego.
your opinion, but we
Really?
love you nonetheless.
Like
We love you nonetheless. And I think we done run way over time today. And I got a little more we wanted to get into, but we done way past time. I appreciate you guys for the wonderful conversation on this topic. Appreciate you, Chrissy, always. Shar,
You know
thank
I
you so
love
much
you,
for
Greg.
being
I
here.
look forward to Thursday.
Of course, you know me too. Look at this good grammar. I just miss you.
I just
I
miss you too.
I just miss you, boy. You
I
understand?
hope
And
you
again,
soon
I
come
want.
visit me in Florida.
Yeah, but no, but listen, I got a couple of dollars, so I ain't break, so I could go past Miami and go to Florida.
Guess what, Greg? I can take you to the mall. I can take you to Sawgrass.
You're so stupid. But
We're not bullying
look
her,
here.
okay? We're just
Don't-
trolling.
don't
It's
pick-
very clever.
Don't pick me up in no car. I only ride Cadillacs weekend. You understand? Break
Thank
people
you.
is riding cars. You understand?
Thank you.
All right.
Wow.
So Let's wrap this up before we continue to go on.
That's bullying, Greg.
Well,
Guess what? I had an auntie like that. My mommy and them travel every year, right? So the itinerary was Paris, London, Vienna. So here my mommy said to my auntie, "Child, we going to Austria?" Here my auntie, "No, child, we going to Vienna." Now, of course, most people wouldn't realize. But
yeah.
When you're dumb, you're dangerous.
See, well, I guess all us dumb because we ain't catch that one just now.
Read the atlas.
I don't know.
If you're going somewhere to travel, you ain't gonna look it up.
But I use in context clues and I put together what it was. But initially, I don't know them things.
Excellent literacy skills.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just using. Yeah, if you encourage people to think, and think differently, think out the box, don't try to box them in.
When Shar teach that class, can she go live?
Good question, Shar.
No confidentiality.
I want to see that class.
Maybe she'll post her final exam if she does well, and then we can make that go viral.
Go to government school. I am Boost.
I'm from the Bahamas. I'm from Illutra.
Wow.
Good night, Chrissy. Have a good one.
You guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much. And again, share the video. We appreciate it. If you can contribute financially, we have a website. It's called goundertherug.com.
No, contribute financially.
Well,
everybody who watched the show tonight put $1.
But what happened, Chrissy? These people might only go to Miami, so they may be a little break. You see, so if you could only afford Miami, then we ask that you please share the video because that's actually free. That don't cost you nothing. You ain't got to spend no money. You ain't got to book no ticket for that one. Hit that share button. Tag your friends in it. You can invite them to watch the show if you feel it was a good show. Whether it was entertaining, informative, a little bit of both, we ask that you share it. But if you do have some guap and you could go to Florida instead of Miami, you could go to the website, goundertherug.com. We have a donate section. You can donate whatever you want. We'll appreciate it. These things just cost money. We got cameras. We got stuff like that. So
Jay is a
this light that's making me look extra washout.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so happy I'm in the studio, Shar. Make all of y'all look black.
Yeah, because the light on her. I mean, she just reflecting off her white face. You see that? You can't even see her face.
I need my glasses, Shar.
All this privilege.
But yes, people, we appreciate the support.
Wrong for that.
So go right ahead. Thank you so much, Robin. Robin said it was a great show. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, share the video. Keep supporting. We do this every week at 5:30. Also, we're on YouTube. So search for the shows on YouTube. Most of the videos are on YouTube. Just for the Under the Rug podcast. Please subscribe. We'll be posting this one either tomorrow or day after. We post all of the episodes afterwards on YouTube. Also on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/goundertherug. Every single episode is there from episode 1 to episode 82, which is this episode. So we almost at 100. If you want to go back, if you like this show and want to hear other conversations that we've had,
let's
go
to
ahead
Florida
on
for the 100th episode.
We'll go to Florida?
For the 100th episode.
I don't want to go to Florida. I want to go to Gainesville.
I got to check to see if my bank account could afford Florida. I might only could go to Miami. But let's go, people. Again, thank you so much. Until next time, people, stop being so mean. Stop bullying people. Trolling is fine, but
not being dumb.
Let's teach them as well. You know what I mean? Ignorance is something that we can help. Kaylee say tag your friends, so tag your friends in it.
Aww.
And education is something we need to spread. So if we know something that someone doesn't know, go ahead and share that information. Don't insult them. Before you insult, inform.
Bahamians need to spread education instead of spreading their leg.
Inform before you insult. That's just my mantra. So stop being so mean, people. You're so quick to jump on people.
No, we judging you. We judging you.
Don't mind Chrissy here. Don't mind that woman. Don't mind it. That's why I be like this right now, because the old people like her. They set this foundation.
Oh, I got.
They set this foundation of judginess. Let's get rid of this judginess and let's move forward as a nation, people. We appreciate it. Until next time. Peace.